drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, they've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Check 26, check 26. Check 3, check 72.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And it's now a 7-0 game. Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Off the play fake. Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. 30. 10. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. 85 yards. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Crosby with the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
2nd and 7. Running right, Jones. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
These two teams all tied after 1. Short, going with their tight end. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On first down, Jones. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 23. Here's a give to Fournette. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. On play action, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Crosby is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Brady. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Again, it's Brady. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends. That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So not the greatest of first halves for him, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. Rodgers on the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Rolling to his right. Caught on the right side by Adams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. Now this throw caught left side, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. Flush to his right. And it'll be intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Bucs are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 2nd down and 3. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And this is going to be a Bucs 1st down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette, running right through him. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Sugar!
On second down, it's Jones. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
On first down, it's Jones, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Brady. A quick pass here to Godwin.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
To throw, it's Brady. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now a play fake, Brady. And he's got Gronkowski. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bucs are now an extra point away from leading this game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about Hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield. That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. Flushed out right. It's caught here by Adams. The 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jones. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Aaron Jones punching it in from a yard away. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Back to throw, Brady. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Airing this one out for Evans. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 17. And the Packers have...